guys, it's me Anyango here, hoping that you are healthy, wealthy and free and loving your life. As always. So you guys know these long motivational videos that are on YouTube, like extremely long, really long. So normally I have them just playing randomly. So whichever ends, another one begins, another one begins. And today I came across one came onto the path, as YouTube does it, a 2-hour long motivational video, and it's got some good content, some really good content, but it's long and it's a lot of stuff. And I think there's a problem that these things do to us, because you end up listening for so long, and they speak so fast. You know, these motivational speakers, they speak so fast. You know, you must do it, you gotta do it, no, never give up, all this stuff. And then some have some really powerful points, but before you can even digest that, they've moved on to the next thing. And one thing that I have to start doing, which I started today, is like pausing it. Like when I hear something, I'm like, ooh, that was nice. I pause it. First of all, I try and rewind it, you know, and listen to it again. And then I pause it and try and digest it. Because otherwise, I won't get it. It'll have, you know, come in one ear and gone out the other one. And I won't remember anything that was said, you know. Because the content is good, but it's a lot. It's a lot. So today, in this 2-hour long compilation, I've actually found a couple of points, but I'm going to stick to a few for this particular video. And you all know the phrase, you know, we who keep trying to do better, the phrase that says, don't stop when you're tired, stop when you're done. Yeah, we all know that one. And today I had this one that says, stop when you've done enough to make progress. Right? So don't stop when you're tired. You could still add that one on to the beginning, but it actually wasn't there. But it says, stop when you've done enough to make progress. So even if you're exhausted, just make a little more progress. And there's this challenge, there's a 25 push-up challenge, which I'm doing. Mine isn't exactly what I'm referring to right now, but my friend Sampa is doing one where he says you do as many push-ups as you can, do as many as you can, and you know, like you're exhausted and your hands are shaking and trembling, you know, as you push yourself up again, and then do one more. That's this one. Stop when you've done enough to make progress. You know, it's very easy when you put it in the exercise frame of mind, right? I mean, just do that one extra push-up, that one extra sit-up, 10 more skips, you know, or whatever it is. And for me, I think this is one reason why, in terms of exercise, I like yoga. I really like yoga because, in a sense, okay, so there are different types of yoga, of course. There are those that build strength and you're sweating, actually in most of them. So I don't know them technical names, but for example, there's yin yoga, which is really about getting into the muscles and the joints, and you stay in a pose for like 3-4 minutes to really allow your body to open up in a certain way, right? And aside from that, there's also the asana yoga, which just has you really strengthening your muscles as opposed to opening them. And in both of those, in my experience, the beauty of them is that it's not like going and pushing weights, you know, and you have to push that one last weight and then once you're used to it, then you add on more weights. For this one, and it's just the reason why I love yoga. And sorry, I'm what's the word? Whatever, suspense. But as you stay longer in a yoga pose, it could be making you sweat, but it also builds a certain stamina inside you because you're holding the pose. You're holding it, you know, and as you hold it, your muscles are opening up in a certain way. So you're not necessarily tightening your muscles, you're allowing them to breathe, you're releasing them. And in that release, especially when you're doing these hip poses, in that release, your mind kind of frees up, because for your joints and your body, all the tension that is held is released through your breath. Literally, your breath controls it, literally. So for you to get into a certain pose or stretch in a certain way that you're not used to, you learn how to breathe into your body, how to control how your body works, and in a way that controls your emotions. Sometimes it makes you cry. Not cry because it's painful, but cry because certain emotions come up. You know this thing of built up emotions, you really hold emotions in your hips. It doesn't really make sense literally, but once you're actually doing, for example, a pigeon pose, you know, and you feel like you're breathing and you feel certain things like rising through your throat, and it comes out in tears and you wonder, what the hell is this nonsense? But that is literally how it is. I don't know who discovered it or what they were looking for, how they even managed to describe it in this way, but it does make sense. It really does. So that's in, you know, in this type of way, in terms of exercise, and why I love yoga for this, because you're not just pushing yourself and screaming it out. It's in a way a therapy. It's a therapeutic kind of joint opening workout that is still good for your body and calms you down at the same time, you know. It's crazy. And as I say, always try and relate this relate this to something else that you're doing in your daily life. How else can I go just a little more to ensure that I've made progress? So for example, there's a challenge that Wayne Dyer gave, to not allow yourself, stop yourself from making yourself the center of attention. Stop yourself. For example, you're having a conversation or an argument, not necessarily an argument, a discussion with two opposing sides, let's say, and this person has a viewpoint that's very different from yours, and you have a point that you really want to say, but he says this: practice not saying it. Practice just allowing this other person to get that glory, that recognition. Allow them to have the moment, and practice being okay with that. Practice, even if you know that it's right, practice just letting it go. Just let go. Leave it, let it go. And I think for that one, for me at least, every single time that I even try to do it is absolutely difficult. Every single time that I even think about it, I also get this built up, you know, tug of war inside me, and it really requires me to breathe. So maybe that's some form of mental yoga, you know, just to breathe out and let it go. Just let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, until, you know, the whole count 1 to 10, you know, and just let it just die and go. It's another practice, and it could happen. You could practice this, because I think this is a great leadership character or habit to have. And then maybe in addition to that, you could practice now how to bring up your points in the best way to communicate as a leader or as a person to everybody. We're all leaders to somebody, right? Yeah, but in addition to that, so in this same 2-hour compilation video, now I found this other one. Actually, this one was earlier on, where it says, some of us won't make it because we can't outlast the old us long enough to get to the new us. Some of us won't make it because we can't outlast the old us long enough to become the new us. And this kind of relates to the previous one of stop when you've done enough to make progress. right? Because in this progress is when you're getting to that new you. That's when I'm getting to that new me. In this little more effort, okay? And in this 2 second more of holding my breath or holding a pose, or that one more time that I allow myself to let the glory go, that one more time when I shut up and not speak up, I am getting to this new me. I'm getting to a little bit more progress. I'm becoming better than I was yesterday, right? And in addition to that now, because this same video, the easiest way to do it, or the one line that got me, because these are long phrases, right? Stop when you've done enough to make progress. This is something that you can remember as you go through the day, and it's just something that you need to remember. Outlast the old you long enough to get to the new you. These are like quotes that you put up somewhere so you can read. But then there was this short, really brief one that I loved, and it said, "Don't fail yourself today." And the guy just says it, and I think he repeated it like twice. Don't fail yourself today. Because there are all these things that we plan to do. There are all these things that I've planned to do in this 24-hour day that are supposed to add up to my dreams and my goals and all that I want to achieve. And for one reason or the other, in a moment I forget that I'm working towards something, and it has a ripple effect on the next 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, and I end up not doing, because I just let it fall by the way, you know, because one thing didn't work out, then everything else goes. And at the end of the day, I feel horrible. But the funny thing is, during the time when I'm doing this thing or not doing the things that I should be doing, I've forgotten. I've completely blocked it out. And maybe the easiest thing to do, and this is where maybe some people get tattoos on themselves, is just don't fail yourself today. I just tell myself, Anyango, don't fail yourself today. Don't fail yourself today. And I don't know if you felt that, or okay, I actually felt that there's a difference when you say it in a whisper, like don't fail yourself today. It's a beseeching kind of thing, kind of statement. It's a prayer. It's a, you know, I'm begging myself, don't fail yourself today. But then there's, with a stronger voice, don't fail yourself today. That's just a statement. That's the 100%. That's just, do not do it. I'm not asking, I'm not begging, I'm not beseeching, I am saying, do not fail yourself today. And that's a full stop. Period. Period. It's done. Do not fail yourself today. That's it, right? So, takeaway is, these compilation videos are are very long. But pick something, because if you watch this 2-hour thing without pausing or reflecting on it, then you won't really get anything at the end of the 2 hours, really. It's like binge watching a movie. At the end of it, you're like, oh, that was nice, but you don't really remember how it started off or the middle of it, right? So pick something, pause, pick something, note it down or write it down, and allow yourself to digest it in the moment. When it hits you in that moment, allow yourself to digest it then, right? And don't fail yourself today. Just don't allow it. Do something that will allow yourself to make that progress, that will allow yourself to outlast the old you long enough to get to the new you. Be free. Okay, I'm gonna see you in the next video.